Chauhan. A little introduction about Mamta ji. Ms. Mamta Chauhan is senior faculty with Institute of Entrepreneurship Development and Center of Excellence for Entrepreneurship and HRD, recognized by Government of UP and its industry and infrastructure policy. Ms. Mamta is an entrepreneurship and small business professional with 20 years of experience in capacity building, evaluation, quantitative research, stakeholders analysis, and impact assessment. She has successfully mentored thousands of entrepreneurs set up and successfully grow their enterprises. Specialization in achievement motivation, entrepreneurship, business ideation, opportunity scanning, business plan, appraisal techniques, and organization development. She is also a member of several advisory boards, management associations, development forums, and community of evaluators, gender and evaluations. National trainer recognized by Department of Personnel and Training, Government of India. He is also mentor of change for the Government of India flagship program of Atal Tinkling Lab, established by the Atal Incubation Mission, Niti Aayog. Ma'am is jury innovative projects and innovative centers of science and technology UP. She has widely traveled for evaluation and development projects focusing mainly on women funded by many international organizations. On behalf of Anveshan Foundation, ma'am, it is my privilege to welcome you for your expert session. Ma'am Mamta Chauhan.
Thank you, Dr. Arora. It's really a great pleasure for me to just join in your session and getting an opportunity to address I hope all the girls and a few male members also. So looking forward continued collaboration with your esteemed organization. And shall we start, Dr. Arora?
Yes, ma'am, you may start, ma'am.
Yeah. So today's session, like you are seeing, is scanning business opportunities and sustainability model. This session is not only COVID specific because these days everybody is thinking and behaving in a COVID centric or COVID specific scenario, and our behavior and our thinking patterns are also affected by this coronavirus and the impact it is creating in our lives. So I will be talking about general tools and techniques, how we should go about when we think of setting up a business model, or we are thinking about startups, enterprises. So there are many tools and techniques to how to go about this, so that, like it is said, that once you have identified a right type of business, right type of product or service, so half of your journey, it is well traveled and the struggle is addressed. Because if you are selecting a wrong product, then moving in a right manner is also not going to lead you, not going to take you to the right destination. So this is this. Uh, First, I would like to just give you a brief intro about the institute where I am. I have spent more than 2 decades. Uh, this is Institute of Entrepreneurship Development, and it's a part of Department of Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises and Export Promotion. Uh, Obviously, like the name suggests, this is the institute was set up for promoting entrepreneurial culture in the state, and it's a premier institute, first of its kind, and it was first institute across the country to promote entrepreneurial culture, entrepreneurial uh, interventions to address the like to address the issue of unemployment and livelihood. So for last 30 years, we are involved in capacity building, mentoring, skilling, and imparting education to right from the uh, children to higher studies, management students, technical institutions, students, as well as faculties and Apart from these, government officers, all the departments who have any role in to play in the ecosystem to promote entrepreneurs. And this type of, just for your information of the students attending the webinar, this type of institutions are created by government, central government in different states. So as of now, there are around 13, 14 institutions, ED institutions at the state level, located in the capital of the specific state. So if any of our target group or the girls and the students who are attending this webinar and belong to different parts of the country, they can definitely take support of such institution in their respective states. So, when we are talking about the COVID, so the complete scenario has been changed. Not only the general population and the general life of people and consumers, but the consumer behavior, the way we are thinking, and the way our requirement are emerging, which are addressed by industries and business enterprises through their products and services. So once going back to the business opportunity scanning process, so one thing is just Dr. Arora, can I ask simple question to our students who are attending the seminar?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, surely, ma'am.
Yeah. So how many of our students are the viewers who are attending this webinar are thinking of setting up enterprise, thinking of becoming entrepreneur after completing their studies?
You can also type your questions in the chat box. Participants, the question is this: that yeah, after completing your this program, if you are studying in some university or colleges, and how many of you want really to start your own startups?
So it's good. Many of yes are emerging in the chat box. So another question. Another question is, any idea idea of the journey of the process which our students have to take, or aspiring entrepreneurs want have to take for setting up enterprise? I'll just wait. I'll just wait for a few more answers.
Yeah, many of them are, ma'am, in edutech or in electronics, IoT, robotics.
Okay. And Dr. Arora, do they have any idea what are the departments and the ecosystem which is support organizations which are which are existing to provide their support for setting up enterprises? Any like somebody has Tista has written 50% idea.
Yeah. Actually, ma'am, what we are doing now, we are doing everything. We take support from different organizations.
Mm-hmm.
And we are doing everything, ma'am, in this means if some girl students or they come to us that they want to start their business and they are not having any business idea, then too we help them.
Okay. So one thing that is very important to understand, like we all have a lot of ideas, lot of uh, thoughts, like we can do this thing, we can take up this activity, we can set up this enterprise. So a lot of ideas are there, but we must understand that every idea uh, cannot be converted into a entrepreneurial activity. So it depends on a lot of research and lot of SWOT analysis. So first thing is identification stage. We have ideas. It moves to possibilities, and then there comes the opportunity. So this slide actually talks about the identification process. Like the girls, some have written that they have 50% idea, and exactly you have said that you have been providing insights to the girls. So a revisit to the entire identification process, how to go about scanning business opportunities. First, we have to identify the base factors. Which are the factors which play a very important role in reaching and selecting up to right the product or the services. And then here comes the, once we have identified the base factor, which base factor is actually applicable for our uh, our enterprise and connected to our enterprise, and which are leading us to the right path. Then assessing the market position, exploring inputs and facilities available, because lot of and incentives and benefits. So here we must be having an idea about the what are the inputs government is providing, because ultimately Ministry of MSME and Export Promotion, that is dealing with the entire scenario. So a lot of inputs and facilities are provided by different organizations to aspiring entrepreneurs, and many facilities, many schemes are available for supporting the women entrepreneurs especially. Once we are through with this, then comes the SWOT analysis of three things: environment, this environment which is actually available around us, from where we have to take out the opportunities. Once we have identified opportunities from that environment, then SWOT analysis of those opportunities, and then after the SWOT analysis of those opportunities, it is very important to do the SWOT analysis of self, means from where we are coming, what is our background, what is our preference. So and then based on all these things, an action oriented business plan is required, which needs to be converted into enterprise. So this slide talks about the base factors which I have been talking about.
Ma'am, could you please full screen your presentation? We're not able to read some part of it.
Okay, okay. Just 1 second.
You can just click on from current slide on left hand side. From current slide, you can click on.
It's fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah. So these are the base factors, like maybe raw material could be the base factor for our enterprise, which I am planning to set up. Topography is also very important, which usually we miss. The topography means climate or the climate situation. Then human skill could be like many have written electronics, communication, like Dr. Arora has also said the robotics. So you may be having a specialization, expertise in this particular area, and that can become a base factor for identifying the business for yourself. Then demand of the market position in terms of quality, quantity, price, and delivery. Then facilities and support could be like government is promoting, like somebody is interested in the food sector. So I don't know many of you have came across this information or not. Like government has launched a micro food processing uh, policy, so and mission. So micro food processing mission is supporting a lot of micro entrepreneurs. Micro entrepreneurs means the turnover is less than 25 lakhs, that is micro. So in this food processing mission policy, the government is providing a lot of facilities and incentives to aspiring entrepreneurs, especially women entrepreneurs. So that could be a base factor for me if I want to, if I have my personal preference for food sector, having some specialization is in the and interest in the food technology or something, and so where all these facilities are available, so that could be a base factor for you to set up your enterprise. Similarly, incentives and support, and along with the incentives and support, lot of constraints are also there. Like in some reason, in a particular reason, government has banned some raw material. Like in the case of plastic, government is imposing ban on plastic. So in coming years, maybe a definite micro gram of raw material is granules are going to be banned. So once if you today not visualizing the, not foreseeing the constraint policy and incentive policy of government, so maybe after 5 years, after 3 years, your enterprise will be in a difficult situation. Then, like I said, personal background and preference. So first, like I was talking about raw material as a base factor. So raw material like agro products. Within the raw material, there are again lot of things to identify, or lot of things out of which you can take out your base factor, like agro products. In some belt, like potato is there. So potato is abundantly being cultivated in many regions of Uttar Pradesh and different parts of country, but it is not um, being processed. So you can uh, do some research. You can take support of like CFTRI, Central Institute for Food Technology Research Institution. They have a lot of technologies, lot of information available, a lot of support is available with that institute. But I don't know how many of you are aware of this central institute. There are two institutions, means two chapter, head office is in Mysore and another office is regional office in Lucknow. So they provide lot of support free of cost. If you are thinking about raw material as your base factor, and out of raw material, agro product is your base factor. So you can take support of CFTRI and think of, like in hills, lot of fruits are there, but they are going wasted due to lack of awareness, lack of machinery, lack of enterprise infrastructure. So similarly, foreign forest products, especially in the times of corona, many herbs are there which are amply available in the regions adjoining forest area. So if any of you have interest in those things, you can do some research, because all of you, I think, are connected with the science background, very good in research and technical thing. So you can do some research, identify some herbs, and uh, make an organic product using the forest produce as a base factor for your industry. Similarly, animal and animal related products could be your base factor. You can do value addition in that thing and set up your enterprise. Then industrial product, lot of things, uh, textile, plastic, electronics, industrial. So these things could be again uh, as a raw material for setting up your enterprise. And waste material, it could be a very good base factor for setting up enterprise if you can do some value addition and convert this waste into some useful product. Like in this corona times, you must be aware that lot of bio waste is being generated, mask and PPE kit, and then this plastic shield, so sanitizers bottle. So this type of waste is generated in different sectors, maybe in agriculture, industries, and plastic, paper, garbage, and leaves, and related to our daily lives. Lot of waste is generated in uh, here and there. So this could be a very good base factor, very profitable. I would just like to share a small case study or real this thing with you. Like Amroha is a part of a small town that is part of Muradabad, very close to Delhi. That is so enterprising, so much enterprising. This is small places, so nothing goes waste there. They get material from different corners of the country, like clothes, waste clothes. It is cut into pieces. The buttons and everything is removed, and they sell it to boutiques and other places. The cloth is shredded into pieces, and in a very indigenous machine, I think it is 25,000 rupees, designed by the people of Amroha itself. They that the waste cotton, waste cloth is put in that machine. It becomes it is converted into cotton. That cotton is transported to Sonipat, and in the form of cotton which is mixed in the fresh cotton, and and that from Sonipat they manufacture threads, and that thread is used in the daris and carpets and all these things. That thread from there, that thread is traveling to different parts of the country to prepare all these durries, rugs, and mattresses, automobile industries, our car and the roofs of our car. It is filled with the cotton made by this waste material. So it's a small technological intervention, and the huge waste of this waste cotton that is converted into something. 600 crore is the turnover of Amroha using this only this enterprise. So you can just imagine how much it is just turning into gold. So so waste material could be another base factor for as a for your enterprise. Topography and climate, I already said, summers, winter, rainfall, snow, they again become a factor. They become in this parameter for identifying some products and services. Then here comes the demand. Demand again become a base factor to think of any enterprise demand and identifying the gaps, like demand of general consumers, like in COVID times, our demand, our behavior pattern is completely changed. Work from home culture is there. In education also, we are seeing that digital classes are everywhere, right from the small children and to the students like you. Everybody is online attending the virtual classroom. So our food habits, food pattern, the contactless things. So the general consumer's behavior, there's a gap, and many companies have come forward. Like recently, I was seeing like Big Bazaar, they have put a very big advertisement in the newspaper, like the clothes are available for work from home professional. So the consumers, general consumers demand, people are studying, and that itself become the factor or the parameter or the reason for setting up an enterprise. Similarly, institutional, lot of institutions maybe educational institutions, maybe hospitals, maybe hotels. So all they have different type of demand, and you may think of setting up any enterprise which is capable of addressing their needs. Similarly, industrial, like PP kit, when Corona started, so there was huge shortage of, I think many, only a few enterprises were manufacturing PPE kits. And now we have ample of, no shortage of PPE kits. So industrial demand is always there. So industries need something like the skilled manpower. People like you have a specialization, Dr. Aurora said robotics, someone has written electronics, so food. So this could be your your specialization, your expertise, which can be used to bridge the demand, bridge the gap between supply and demand. Similarly, agriculture has a huge, like you can design some app for addressing the needs of farmers. So agriculture could be another factor where certain gaps are there. You can think of any website, any application, or any tools which could address the demands of this particular sector. Construction. Construction has a big chain of skills. It needs a huge skills in different sectors, maybe very lower level mason, and at the highest level interior designing, architecture, and a lot of things. Transportation, like Ola was a result of the demand in this sector. So now we all are using Ola, Uber, and many more small business entrepreneurs have come up with their product and their services in this sector. Similarly, the international demand, the demand in international market, maybe in the handicraft sector or any other thing. Handicraft has a great demand in international market, and India is particularly has a variety of crafts. Only what we have to do, if we have creativity, if we have our technical edge over others, so we can just using these things, we can uh, harness the traditional skills, traditional handicraft skills, which women have from ages. So we need to just redesign, reorient those things uh, as per the international fashion, international trends and design. Like here in India, we use bright colors, but international market is subtle colors. So colors can be changed, color themes, the patterns. So all these things can be studied, and this demand of international market, global market, can be addressed. Like geographical indicators, you must be aware of GI products. So gradually, Government of India is just to protect our art and culture and our special like basmati rice. So now it is GI tagged. Haldi is GI tagged. Our chicken curry is GI tagged. So nobody in the world can just use that thing uh, with their own name. It will be our, it will be the Indian thing. So GI, whatever products are GI tagged, you can just search on the website and get a contact with the Commerce Ministry or MSME, and those products can be just taken up to promote the artisans connected with those trades, and this could be a very good boom for enterprise. Very easily you can set up this enterprise. Like I would just like to share that there is a variety of rice. It's a very special rice uh, cultivated in eastern part of Uttar Pradesh. Siddharthnagar is the place. So the yield is less, so it is not very popular, but it's a unique type of rice. Basmati stands nowhere near this rice. So, but that was not very popular across uh, the country or internationally. Now, because Siddharthnagar is close to Nepal, and the Buddha circuit is around Siddharthnagar, Kushinagar, Shravasti, all those places. So, government has in Uttar Pradesh, government has you must be having an idea, like one district, one product. That is a very good flagship scheme government of UP has launched. uh, One district, one product. So from each district, government has picked up one product and promoting the product in that particular district. And the marketing is for marketing, Amazon, Flipkart, Alibaba, and many big giants are roped in by the government. So that rice has been promoted as Buddha rice, and now it is selling like anything in where Buddhism is popular, Malaysia and Indonesia, Vietnam, all these places. So we have to just create the demand. So demand and identify how we can create the demand. We need to understand. So that could be a base factor for setting up enterprise. Now, once this GI tagging and IPR and patenting and this scheme like ODOP, one district, one product, they are in the uh, they are promoted by government. So lot of demand for different products, out of box thinking. So that is required. So we can just put this use this base factor for reaching or arriving at the final product for our industry. Like I said, human skill could be one base factor, like chicken curry. Lucknow is famous for chicken curry. So this artisans are traditional artisans are from Mughal times. The artisans are involved in this handicraft, and across the globe, Lucknow is popular for chicken curry. Many of you must be using at least one of your dress as a chicken curry dress, and whoever comes to Lucknow definitely doesn't go back without having a chicken, even a small piece of chicken. So similarly, uh, many in different parts of country there are handicrafts available and lot of artisans like one in Allahabad, now Prayagraj. So there the whole village is involved in uh, making this different products like baskets. You must be having, or you must have seen that basket in which fruits and uh, sweets, all these are packed and given especially in the festive times or marriage ceremonies. So that is called moonj. Moonj is the name of that raw material. So whole village is involved in this craft using different products and usually simple products of Mooj. Government has taken up Ministry of Textiles and Handicraft, Development Commissioner Handicraft Office and Ministry of Textiles. They have picked up that village for promoting that craft. Now they are getting lots and lots of so many orders from different products. A team of consultants as from NIFT, uh, many girls who are from NIFT, girls and boys. So they have been engaged in guiding and providing support and designing support to the artisans. And now they are making so many good products so that export orders are there, uh, and people from different departments are giving them orders. They are asking them to prepare logos for their departments. So we need to identify the human skills as we can identify human skill as a base factor. Like you are having professional qualification, technically qualified professionals you will become after passing out from your respective courses. So that will be your human skill. That could be your X factor for thinking of any enterprise. Like robotics, if uh, I in any in future times, if I want to set up an enterprise, definitely I'll not be going to set up anything related to artificial intelligence or robotics or electronics because I am illiterate in that field. But you are technically qualified professional in and take up that field very well. So that is your human skill. If I think of any setting up any enterprise, I'll be picking up non-technical thing because I am a non-technical person. So academic experts like lawyers and interior designers and all these things, they have other professions specialization. So that is another human skill which can be taken as a base factor for setting up enterprise. So this could be one base factor which would lay a foundation or lay a guidance for us to set up select any particular enterprise. Then comes the market position. Like we all know and we all believe that producing something, manufacturing something is not a tough thing because either we are expert in that, or if we don't have any idea, we can just engage skilled people to go for and manufacture. We set up a manufacturing unit, we set up production enterprise, and our skilled, semi-skilled staff or expert can be engaged to produce something. But to market that thing, that is a tough thing. So we need to understand market position. So this market position again can be a base factor for identifying, scanning business environment. We can scan business environment using the market position as a base factor. So in the market position, quality, quantity, price, and marketing. That could be we need to identify the gap. Where the gap lies, like quantity, if there is demand of something but supply is not there is a gap. That gap could be uh, product or service in the enterprise, which we can think of. This trend of demand supply, what was the trend in past? What is the expected growth rate uh, in that for that demand and supply, and what is the export potential, export possibilities, because lot of possibilities are available for export. And I don't know you are aware or not, like you can get a lifetime export license with just a fee of 1,000 rupees. You can get a license. So you need to identify lot of countries are there. So many small countries, not only US and Europe and France and Germany. So lot of small countries are there, Asian countries are there, which their huge demand is there for different products. They are not able to produce those things, and India has an edge over that. So we need to understand, we need to just do our research and identify what is the gap in the terms of quantity gap or quality gap in when we are talking about the export potential. And then what is the competition level, because we are not the single monopoly holding enterprise for any particular sector. Already our competitors are there, manufacturers are there, traders are there, service providers are there. So we we have to identify how much share we can have if we set up this particular enterprise. So competition level also we need to assess. Then the quality gap, maybe consumer needs something, product is available, service is available, but we are not satisfied with the quality of that product or service. So here comes the opportunity to set up our enterprise. Then again, the competition and the supply gap in terms of quality. Then price gap. Price gap, we can just think of if very exorbitant price some company is charging for its product or service because of monopoly. Other industries are not existing to provide that product or service. So they are again uh, our opportunity comes. We can just a reasonable price. We can just provide products and services to consumers. Overheads could be another, management cost. So these are price gap. All these things are, if very high, obviously the product and services will be very high. So there comes the gap, and there comes the, with this gap, opportunity comes. Like in Corona times, lot of problems are there, lot of confinements are there. People are confined in their homes, um, whether they are children, students, or general population, professionals working in software industry, or uh, not the government offices, because all the government offices are open. We, we could be confined only in the beginning of 15-20 days again, but after that we are the routine office attending people. So So we need to understand that what are the gaps and how things are changing in this scenario. So and then this the marketing gap. So marketing gap is like timeliness. We are or putting orders for something, but the company is not delivering on time due to a number of reasons. So there again comes the opportunity for us. Delivery, we all now want the convenience and delivery at our doorstep. But if delivery is an issue, so we can set up an enterprise in that particular sector, improve with improved delivery mechanism. So that could be a reason for our success in this particular sector and earning profit. Packaging could be a waste factor. Like I don't know how many of you remember those times, or I don't know you were born those times or not. But the culture of sachet was not there. Even in the pan parag, I remember it was the first product which launched the pouches, the small thing. Otherwise, there was this much big pan parag dibba, and people who used to have addiction or a taste for pan parag, they were not very comfortable in carrying the pan parag due to its size of that box or due to the social this perception. So pan parag launched. They understood the marketing gap of packaging, and they launched this pouch. And then the sauce and shampoo and oil and many things they start. Packaging changed. The concept of packaging changed since those times. So that was a gap, and whoever has understood that gap, they created their space in the market, in the business scenario. Similarly, services and after sales service, we purchase anything in offices or home, but after sales service is very poor. So there came the emergence of after sales service companies due to this gap in the market. Then credit facility could be another parameter or base factor. The credit facility, many new credit mechanism emerged in the recent past in the market. So we are not required to make the payment through cash or this electronic now credit facility, electronic payments, fintech. Just we can just say fintech. The era of fintech came with the Paytm and Google Pay and Phone Pay and many others. So the credit facility again became credit facility, which we don't consider it very important, but the credit facility itself, the gap was there, and the people who launched these Paytm and Google Pay and other UPIs, they understood this gap and set up their enterprise. And this particular, they are just providing the fintech financial credit facility. So these things, these gaps we need to understand because whenever people say what type of industry I should run, I should set up. So I usually take a back seat and not very much comfortable or interested to offer a just uh, offhand sort of advice until unless you understand your scenario. Your SWOT analysis is very important. Your SWOT analysis, the environment in which you are operating, you are thinking, you are adapting, so that that sort of that environment, and then you have to pick opportunities from that environment, and lot of opportunities, lot of ideas, and then you have to filter those ideas based on these base factors, and then only can come the right type of opportunity which exactly matches with your interest, your taste, your background, and your entire culture, and um, syncing that thing with a lot of lot of incentives, lot of things. You must be having an idea, because Dr. Arora said that he keeps on organizing FDPs and other programs for you guys. So definitely those people must have come, and officers and uh, representative for different organizations, and they must have told you like a different sort of scenario is now in the country, like in Atmanirbhar Bharat, in Corona times, uh, government has announced this Atmanirbhar Bharat, and this Atmanirbhar Bharat is not only confined to the industries, it has been expanded to different sectors, that it is water, it is sanitation, it is health, it is industry. So so lot of opportunities are there in these times. Lot of incentives are being given by government, like capital subsidy. uh, I don't know how many of you are aware of different financial assistance schemes which Ministry of MSME and Export Promotion, Textile, Ministry of Textile, Department of Science and Technology, many other departments, and they are promoting this thing. And like in for rural areas, if you want to set up industry in rural areas, so Khadi Village Industry Commission is there, Khadi Village Industry Board is there, and they are the nodal for obviously KVIC is working hand in hand with district industry center industry department. So they have jointly announced a program for Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, PMEGP. So capital subsidy is there. Like if you are you want to set up enterprise, so up to 25 lakh is available as a loan. Out of that, 30% is subsidy for women candidates, and 25% is subsidy for general uh, candidates. So suppose you want to take a loan of 10 lakhs, so you only have to pay back to the department 7.5 lakh. 2.5 is your this subsidy. So that is 25%, and 30% is for women candidates. Then another subsidy government is giving in the form of interest subsidy, that is low interest rate. Like the prevailing rate of interest is 10% or 13%, but in the schemes which are where government is providing interest subsidy, so you only have to pay 4% or to 5%. So a lot of schemes are available, a lot of incentives government is providing. uh, Power tariff, the concession is giving on power consumption. If you are installing solar power uh, systems in your enterprise, then a lot of subsidy is almost free, sort of. Only 20% you have to pay, and 80% will be subsidy. And tax holiday, lot of concessions on taxes. So that is as a part of incentive. Technology and marketing support, that is for different from different organizations, like NSIC is one organization, National Small Industries Corporation. So they are providing a lot of support for raw material, for machines. If you don't have money to uh, buy the machine, so they will provide you EMIs for that. Hire purchase scheme is there. They get you orders from domestic and international markets. You have to register in their department, NSICs, and they will generate business for you. You have to make the products and supply to NSIC, and then the rest will be taken care of by them. So a lot of exhibitions, trade fair within the country, outside the country, that are available through NSIC, MSME, and the Ministry of Textile also. Every year they organize 4 5 international fair in different parts of country. Recently, Paris and Japan were the destination where they put the exhibitions and fair. Dubai was another this thing. But at the same time, constraints are also there, like I earlier said. So we need to understand, we need to find out, do a proper research. What are the constraints? Maybe some raw material is banned in some product is banned in a particular region, or use of particular raw material is restricted, and regular compliance is could be a constraint. Some policy guidelines are there, so which details about the constraints different industries have to think of or adhere to. Pollution control measures you have to adopt. So it depends on what type of industry you are uh, putting in. So according to that, you have to take NOC from Pollution Control Board. So if you have not followed, you have not did the compliance, so it will be difficult, and you may be in a soup to like you have set up a enterprise without following the norms of Pollution Control Board, so it will be difficult. So that could be a base factor, like you should eliminate those things from your list of ideas where this type of constraints are existing, and then the quality norms and these things. So then this slide was missing, input and facilities. So these are simply what are the inputs and facilities required for setting up an enterprise. So this could be again a base factor, like you are having a plot uh, in a very strategic location, and very pertinent and very suitable for setting up an enterprise. So like in an industrial area, you are having a plot or shade, so or workshop. So that could be a risk factor. You can be thinking of like let us start some solar power grid there, or some robotic workshop there, or electronics item. So that could be a base factor, like you are having a land, and or government is giving you land on very subsidized industrial area, and all the facilities required for industry are being provided. So that could be a base factor. That could be a trigger for you, like because I'm the plot already in this thing. CFC is common facilities it is provided. That could be a facility which you can use. That in the center, everything is there. You have to go there and for expertise, and machine is there, their quality checking mechanism is there. Is there. You have to put in your expertise. Doctor,
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, Rahul this side, ma'am. Dr. Oda sir has
yeah,
in another meeting due to some
check
constraint.
how much time is left.
Ma'am, as per your wish, we can conclude, ma'am.
Okay, okay, just a few more slides, and then we can just
Sure, ma'am. We can conclude as per you wish.
yeah.
Whenever you want.
So these are the inputs and facilities, raw material, utilities, funds, availability of fund. Like government is promoting some scheme. If you are interested in that sector, you can take advantage of that scheme, and you can be getting the funds on a very suitable basis. You have manpower. You have a group of women and who are who have particular skill for handicraft item. So that could be taken as a base factor for setting up an enterprise. So recently in the COVID times, a lot of women have been engaged in mask making. So today itself there was in the newspaper some technical background girl was there, and she has trained about 50,000 women during the corona times for different things, and mask making were one of them. She provided the raw material, some skills, and the masks were prepared by those women, and it was sold to different government departments and the banks. So that would be another base factor. If you have raw material, if you have plant and machinery, you have manpower, you can think of setting up an enterprise. Then last uh, this thing in the ladder, it is personal background and preferences. So your family background, like jewelers. So all the jewelry shops are set up by the people who have their background like this. They have their young and now very smart children. They got them educated in the gems designing and jewelry designing, and they have just modernized their traditional family business. So, because they have seen uh, every minute details of operating that business. Their fathers were involved in their elders were involved in the same business. So they have taken this thing. They have their the nitty gritty. They know the nitty gritty. They have all the required knowledge and expertise of that business. So family means your family background. It also helps a lot and set a stone for decision making. Like to your personal background, what is your family background, what is your financial status, what is your economic status, what is your financial strength for investment in the business, because government and bank is not going to give you 100% funds. You have to invest in the 3:1. The debt equity ratio is 3:1. Means uh, the 75% or 70% you have to invest, and 25 to 30%, sorry, 25 to 30% you have to invest, and then only government will, or financial institution, banks, they will consider your application, consider your project. So minimum 3:1 ratio you have to maintain. So because of this, it is important to understand how much your project will cost, and do you have arrangement for your margin money, which is to be invested from your side. So it is important to understand when you are doing this exercise of filtering the, or eliminating or selecting the idea or rejecting the idea. You need to understand, you need to do the exercise of preparing a complete matrix, putting all these things. Means what is your indicator, your criteria for selecting or rejecting a particular business. Then your knowledge, skill, experience, the person who has thing of creativity in herself or himself, and skill of particular thing like fashion designing, or a person who has taken admission in NEFT and has learned all these things. So definitely that the person can think of setting up a boutique or fashion house, or a complete clothesline or accessories, because the personal background is knowledge, skill, experience in a particular area. So we need to understand what is my this thing and inclination for a particular business. Here comes your interest. Maybe you have learned the robotics, and or engineering, computer software engineering. But that is not by choice. That was the pressure of the family, just like they wanted you to become an engineer, but your personal interest is not in engineering. That is in agriculture. You using your engineering skills and knowledge, you can design something for agriculture. So to address the needs and of farmers, so improve their quality of life, their operations. So that is the inclination of a particular business, what you actually want to do, because it is very important, irrespective of all the things, it is very important what your heart says, what you want to do. Because until unless you take up the business or enterprise of your taste, your choice, your interest, it will be not possible for you to do innovations. And when you are not doing innovations, but you are not innovating anything in your business, so it is not going to be successful, because entrepreneurship and innovation goes hand in hand. You cannot eliminate innovation. Every day you have to innovate, whether it is in terms of technology, in terms of your marketing, your business plan, your consumers, your geography, everything. So to do the innovation every day, then only you will be surviving in the industry for a long term. Your managing capability, it could be your managing capability, like you are good in as a follower, you are not good as decision maker, then I think entrepreneurship is not for those people who, because everybody, it is not that like everybody can be a player or a lawyer or doctor, or everyone has its own strength and weaknesses or taste or interest. So you need to understand what is your preference, what is your the particular zing which puts sparkle in you, which triggers you. So and what type of industry you want to set up. It is not important that you set up a manufacturing unit. It is not important you set up a service sector or trading. So MTSE means choice of enterprise type, means M oblique T oblique S E, it is written. It is M, manufacturing or production. T, trading. You are not producing anything. You have a good eye for to catch something interesting, irrespective of the sector. You just pick that thing and you are good in picking up. You are good in identifying these things. So no need to go for manufacturing or production. You pick things, you register your own brand and just do the business. You, without manufacturing anything, you are doing business, you are trading. So T is for trading. Service sector, service industry, you have a deep knowledge of electronics, robotics, and whatever you are learning. So you are using that language and that knowledge, you can set up a service sector industry. You can set up an LLP, you can register a limited liability partnership, and you can run your business using your expertise. That is service sector industry. And then export oriented, you have a lot of knowledge about the global international business, so you have deep insight about the export scenario and understanding of the trends in the international market. So you can set up a 100% export oriented unit. So choice of enterprise, that is also your preference, what type of enterprise you want to set up. Then after doing all these things, then comes the action-oriented entrepreneurial journey. You have done the identification of business opportunity, finalize the viable opportunity, then did the market survey. And after doing the market survey for 3-4 industries, 3-4 ideas, 3-4 opportunities, finally, whatever uh, results have come in the market survey, based on that, you can prepare a project report, business plan, and if the ratios are good return on investment, debt equity ratio, and many other break-even point. That is very important, break-even point. So if it is good, like more than 50% is the break-even, then obviously you can select that, and it definitely it matches with your interest area. So you can just finalize that business plan, mobilize resources. Resources means everything which helps in production, and create your enterprise, develop skills for managing enterprise, and you can provide employment, check migration, and of people who are just wandering in the want of jobs and moving to other states. You can just include and involve those in your industry. And this is a just indicative list of from where you can raise funds. So PMEGP, I told, one district, one product. Mudra is very good. You must be having an idea about Mudra, like up to 10 lakhs, you can take loan, 50,000, 5 lakhs and 10 lakhs. Up to 10 lakhs, you can take from under Mudra. And every bank has been given target to a bank branch. Every bank branch has been given target to fund um, a selected number of participants, candidates, entrepreneurs under Mudra. So it's not difficult to get funds under Mudra for any sector. It is technical, non-technical, anything. Then if in rural areas you want to do something, NABARD is there. SIDBI is always for supporting small industries. They have very good one scheme, Mahila Nidhi. So under this, they provide assistance to women entrepreneurs. Then Stand Up India is again for women entrepreneurs. It's exclusively women for women and SC/ST, not beyond these two categories. And up to from 10 lakhs to 1 crore, you can get in the Stand Up India. Then Startup India is for technical, mainly it deals with technical design. So for you, because you are in technical university, so you can take support in Stand Up India and as well as Startup India, any of, not both. So under CSR also, you can, if you want to go for social entrepreneurship, then CSR, many opportunities are there in CSR for different social sectors. DST is there for science and technology background people, a lot of schemes for training of women entrepreneurs or other candidates also, and then for supporting the enterprise. NSIC, I already told. Then if you are doing some innovation, then National Innovation Fund is there. Financial institution, banks have, a lot of banks have their own schemes, and usually people don't know about these schemes. So those schemes are remained unaccessed. So and other government departments, they have their own respective schemes, like animal husbandry, fisheries, dairy, and sericulture, and minorities, backward. So all these every government department has one or other scheme for supporting entrepreneurship, because now entrepreneurship is the buzzword. After Modi ji has set up the ministry for entrepreneurship, when we joined this entrepreneurship, the community and the job. So entrepreneurship, the spelling of entrepreneurship was not very is familiar. People were not familiar. Even we were not familiar with what actually entrepreneurship. We just entered, and one fine day we found one advertisement and applied without knowing what exactly is entrepreneurship. Applied, and then the whole process, interview, written test, group discussion, and all this, we entered in the era, this world of entrepreneurship. That is 20 years back. But now Ministry of Entrepreneurship and Skill Development, so everybody wants to become entrepreneur. So that is a respectable thing. And then venture capitalist is again another the source of fund, but I would not support or advise to just jump into venture capitalists, because they have their own stake and interest in the thing. So when other government schemes are there, so it is not important, not necessary to just at the latter stage when you are strong and your industry, your business is strong, then you can just for expanding your enterprise, you can just take help of venture capitalists. And then one that was the complete thing about the business opportunities scanning thing and this. So at the end, I would just touch upon sustainability. That was a part of today's topic. Sustainability business model. Many enterprises in the long back when even you were not there, like black and white TV. So many companies which were many brands which were there, leading brands for black and white TV. So now they are nowhere. They could not sustain um, in the competition. So it is very important to think of sustainability from the day one. So either it is product or services, everything is for customer. So we have to keep a nap on a close watch on the changing trends in the consumer behavior or the environment, and the things which are impacting their decisions, their buying capacity, as well as their their decision, their interest, their preferences. So this is important to just have a close watch on that. Then only the sustainability can be ensured. And this is not that like, okay, we'll set up our enterprise and after 5 years we'll think of sustainability. That is not the correct thing, because if you are not taken care of sustainability from very beginning, maybe after 5 years you will not be in the market. So this is the model. This is the 9 key building models that can describe any business model, either it is multinational corporate or just because a small business, it's just 1 or 2 persons this thing. So this sustainability business model canvas, it is about value proposition, and because the product and service should meet the need of customer. Needs are rapidly and very quickly changing. So our product and services should be such that it should always matches some matchmaking thing, the customer and our product and services. Then to whom you are delivering, that is these things. So again, it's the customer. Customer may be general customer or institutional or industries, wherever you are delivering. So customer segment should, because customers are like different sets of customer. So you have to, maybe your product is very good, your services are very good, you have designed some app and it is it has been accepted by market or consumers in a very welcoming manner. But what needs to be modified, what needs to be changed in day to day, so that should be taken care of. The way you deliver, the channel, this delivery mechanisms, so that that is another. This is block which should be taken care to ensure the sustainability. The relationship, what is the relationship with the customer? How you are engaging your customer? How you are your customer? How you are ensuring that your customer is not moving away? So, so that is very important, and uh, how the revenue is coming to you from those customers. So, if your revenue is not there, so it means your customer loyalty is missing somewhere. So, key activities, key resources, key partners. So, we all these create value for company. So from day one, we need to take care of in our business plan. The sustainability part should always be there. It will save us from disappointment. It will save us from missing any element from our complete enterprise management and ensure the sustainability. So this was the whole thing about this scanning business environment, and irrespective of the sector, whatever whatever line of action, whatever product, whatever services you are taking up, it all these the complete this tool goes with applies to all the sectors, all the industries, because until unless you have identified the right type of enterprise, right type of product for you, maybe your friend is having one product and you are alike, you may be alike in all the manners, but even then lot of differences are there when it comes to selecting an enterprise. So it like even the twins are not alike. There are differences there in their personality, their thinking pattern, their approaches. So whatever is good and applicable and viable for one person, not necessary it is viable for another person in the family or in the surroundings. So we should be very careful when we are thinking about uh, selecting a viable business opportunity. A, a very comprehensive, exhaustive X-ray assessment we need to do for before setting up, before finalizing anything. Not in a hurry, not in the influences, the complete ecosystem you should be aware of. You should do a proper research, because industry, enterprise, entrepreneurship is again a career, and the career you are not this career. In other career option, you may join a company if you are not feeling good there, and you can leave. You can join another company, but uh, here, when you have decided to become entrepreneur, it is not for one day. It is not for 2 days. It is forever, because the choice of leaving, choice of quitting, you leave behind your choice of quitting. So the entrepreneurship and this word of entrepreneurship is beautiful, and it is enriching, it is fulfilling once you take the right path and once you take the right decision. So thank you very much. I hope this session would have been valuable or could have drawn insight into your thought process. And I thank all the participants who have joined here today's session. And again, a big thanks to the organizers or the institute for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. It was pleasure is all ours listening to you.
Yeah,
I
if
on the
and you can just, I'm open to that. I don't know the time permits, but if there is any pertinent question is disturbing you, you can just.
yes. I request any participants if you have any question, you can just ask in now. I think, ma'am, you have attended most of the questions in between.
So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for taking out time. You can just press enter or any key in the PowerPoint. It will end. Yes. I request all the participants feedback form for the issue of certificate is in the chat box. All must fill the form and ensure your name, college name is entered correctly as same will be used for generating the certificate. Also, if you are to our GC and regular participants, another session is in parallel is going by Dr. V.K. Roda sir in Wellness Boot Camp. You can join in. I have posted the details of the session in the WhatsApp group. So I've just started another session there.